like they just have to wing it. But they don't. And there's been a model care for a while. That's why, we're bringing it forward, because it has existed. And we can get on the same page, and we can work from the same, knowledge base. And we do have evidence-based approaches that have been utilized for decades. The Association for MPD and Psychopathy Survivor Treatment over at survivortreatment.com then lists trained therapists on our website for referral. And then we have through PESI and Evergreen a certification program that's coming soon. So if this piques your interest, step one in the next workshop that we're going to be doing is about teaching you the identification, how to identify pathological relationships from 4 key elements that are present and make up a pathological relationship. We also go into neuroscience, the survivor profile, and trauma atypicality. So there's really interesting stuff in there on the neuroscience and neurobiology of those danger zone personalities, and why, in fact, they are so dangerous. We take a look at the dramatic, erratic, severe, and dangerous relational dynamics and its connection to the survivor's elevated trauma. We take a look at the research outcomes with Purdue University on the survivor's profile, so you can stop calling it codependency. It's such an interesting outcome. And I know that the vast majority of these survivors were bussed off, put in busloads and sent to CODA meetings, thinking that some of the presentation in their personality is related to codependency. And I think you'll find the outcomes to be inspiring, not only with this population, but it's information you will use with every client after that, before you jump to the conclusion that there is codependency. So you'll learn how to compare and contrast codependency with what we call super traits. They're personality trait elevations that have been misdiagnosed as codependency. It also includes the outcomes of our trauma study and the #1 hallmark trauma-like symptom that is seen in survivors, and what to look for with that, and why their trauma presents differently. I said before that it's atypical, and that's part of why we miss it, is that the presentation of that can be really different. And what a larger portion of treatment with this population will focus on. If you want to go further, the workshop following that is the treatment workshop. It is based on assessment and intakes. What the session focuses are handouts, trauma do's and don'ts. So it was, created and taken from, decades of work and study and data that has been further enhanced by other therapists in the association expertise who have also been working in the field. So it's gone through a lot of revisions and tweaking and updates as we learn more and know more. Everything, in that treatment workshop necessary, from assessments and intakes to session focuses to the handouts that you'll need, and then helpful cross-referencing to the psychopath book for additional clinical information. That book in and of itself is 422 pages. So we weave that together as well so that you can look up that information. We call it the Bible of treatment. It also focuses on specific elements that are unique to pathological relationships, what to do in early, mid, and late therapy, session focuses, in-depth training on the survivor risk factors for prevention, intervention, and treatment work based on the outcomes from Purdue. Psychoeducational material that you'll need to use, because the survivors need pathology education. They need to know what you learn and what you know about the danger zone personalities and what about personality makes it so dangerous. So we give you a lot of that psychoeducational material and when to use it. And then trauma specifics about the atypical trauma, which I've mentioned. And importantly, I think what I wish I had, but that was a really long time ago, what does and doesn't work and how to spot it. So there's no more winging it. We don't have to wing it unless we want to wing it. And if you want to go further beyond those two workshops, we're working right now on a certification for this. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be called, something like clinical narcissistic abuse trauma professional, something like that. And then that certification is filed with our association on their network referral database, where survivors can find model care trained and certified therapists. And that's what they say they've been missing. And that they could find a trauma therapist, but you didn't really understand PLRs, or they go to a survivor turned expert blogger who may understand pathological relationships, but can't treat their trauma. And so the last 4 years, I've been focused, on finishing up this therapist training to help, because survivors are saying that there is not enough trauma-trained therapists who understand pathological relationships, personality, and psychopathology. And the association also has other member benefits as well. We have updated workshops and training, case consulting, articles, and focus groups for treatment, research, and education. So that's kind of an overview of what we found out, from the survivors and the Finding Competent Care study about the ways in which we could do it better. And I'm glad they were specific, because it really has helped us, take that and come in and surround those issues and build them up. so that we have treatment success and not treatment failure. My next full day training is on May 7th. It's the Clinician's Guide to the New Field of Traumatic Pathological Love Relationships. There is a link there, and if you use that link and you put the promo code in, it's 50% off. If you would like further updates about additional trainings through the association, you can sign up for notifications at survivortreatment.com. All right, so I was worried I was not going to be able to get all that in before I lost my voice, or it was longer than an hour. So I do have a little bit of time to do Q&As. So I think she said to vote thumbs up on any of the questions that are in the Q&A. So we know which ones are important. I'm gonna have to put my glasses on here. Let's see. Let's see, you have mentioned narcissism, psychopathy, and MOX, the dark triad of personality, and DV, but have you mentioned anything about revenge porn, cyber stalking? Do you think there is a difference between in-person and online pathological relationships? Does the impact differ? I think that we talk about this a lot with you know, our own clients. The online world is the perfect place for pathological personality types to hide. I mean, it fits the Jekyll and Hyde, you know, persona of that anyway. And then they have the capability of better hiding online and wearing whatever mask that they want. I don't know that I really think, I think there is a personality type, those danger zone personalities that are more inclined to do the online kinds of stuff. And so whether it's in person or online, we're probably doing both actually. And so it again comes down to personality pathology. Okay, let's see. Is there a directory somewhere of therapists that are well informed about narcissistic abuse?